Alright, can you hear me? Alright, so I think we are live and ready to go. Let's share our stream across our different socials today. Let's get ourselves up and running. And let's take a look here. Let's see here. Let's take this. Alright, let's see here. We have to hop on our X and post that. We'll give it a heart to that post just because that's what popped up. Okay, so we've posted up on X, we've posted up on our Facebook page, and now we're just going to drop the announcement in our Discord. Let's go to our live stream section. I noticed I never shared yesterday in Discord. I must completely overlooked that. Yeah, well, I guess I've done it a couple times. It's almost like every other time I forget to post in Discord. But anyhow, we got that rolling. All right. So let's get rolling. I think I just want to turn on some music. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Let's take our. All right. So yesterday we were having a blast working on these shoes here, on these Chuck Taylors, on these fire shoes. Now all we got to do today is, well, for the shoes is we got to correct these laces, make sure they're actually going through all the eye holes. Uh, just move a couple things here and there. Alright, so let's take a look here. Let's add another vertice that'll help give us a little bit more control on here. And let's get that. Alright. We just want to get these two to cross more or less in the center so they kind of look better positioned, I guess. Okay, let's grab that. Yeah, I think that's starting to come together. All right, let's take that. There we go. I'm gonna try my best to uh, quickly finish this and move on to the next piece today, because although I have found it very amusing to make these shoes, I want to move on and get some of this job done. Um, so I know yesterday, I believe, we spoke a little bit about Rare Evo, and I think if I remember correctly, at the end of the stream, it was confirmed that we had a booth, and now there's like it, I have so much more expectation to get done in the next couple weeks to be ready for this show. It's going to be quite nerve-wracking. I expect myself not to sleep quite a bit over the next coming 2 to 3 weeks as try to make sure that we're ready. And what does that even mean? What does being ready mean? Uh, Something that I've been kind of thinking about, like what exactly does this show mean to me? What am I trying to achieve? Um, but to me, I'm like, man, it should be like the Otternauts, right? The Otternauts is what should be unveiled. Wow, did I little slip about future developments, right? But we're still really early on. But I kind of want to unveil that MVP, our own Warhammer faction or our own tabletop wargaming brand. I mean, that could be pretty huge to show off that as an MVP and get some feedback from the crowd. I was like, man, that would be a good idea. Okay, I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, so I'm like, all right, cool. We definitely can do it. It's just gonna require some serious hours to be put in because not only do we have to finish designing stuff, but we got to print, a substantial amount of quantity of parts to give away and get some market feedback. But I think it would be a good application, good use of the investment in going to the show. All right, so this this is gonna be an interesting one. Do I even know how to? Do I even have a good way of tying these together like a shoelace? I'll figure it out. not sure how I'm gonna get this to look correct. I'm gonna have to play around with this a little bit. So right now, this needs to come through this loop. And now we have that. I'm just trying to slowly move things tighter and tighter. And then I know it's not perfect, but honestly, at this scale, there's no way to tell. Like, we're talking about. Honestly, I have a feeling that these laces are going to be. I wonder if I should just keep them. Um, Whoa. Sounds a little cheap and tricksy, but honestly, I'm okay with it. Alright, what I want to do here is I think I want to shift, let's see here, Control A, let's, alright, so now we are going to scale this up a little bit more to something like that. And that'll, I think, help a lot. What I'm going to do actually, and I really don't want to do this, but I'm going to delete all of these that I have. Because I scaled this up now, and if I just try to scale them all up individually, I could have done it a different way, but I didn't. But in retrospect, I was like, wait, hold on. There's actually some commands we can use to scale everything up equally, but, you know, at this point, it's just whatever. I guess I feel more comfortable doing it like this right now. Let's see here. Alright, so that's one side, and I think that looks pretty good. Alright, let's keep doing what we're doing here, but let's go on the other side. Alright, so this should be way further away from the edge, but let's see. Alright, cool. That looks pretty darn good to me. Alright, so let's see here. Can we add a mirror modifier? Yeah, those are looking fresh. And you know what? I know there was a stripe that I wanted to add down the shoe, but honestly, I'm kind of okay with this. Excuse me. Wow. Uh, Now what I kind of want to do is separate these into its own layer. The same way we kind of scaled these up a bit. I don't know if those need to be scaled a little bit. Uh, Contemplating just getting rid of them. Yeah, probably just gonna get rid of them. Simplify it a little bit. Okay, so I know that I realistically hate everything about that brush, the way it looks, how it was done. Um, Everything needs to be kind of fixed, and we'll just get that done. Um, I guess what I'm gonna do is before I bring that up over there, I'm going to model the brush and then position it. So we'll do that. So if this is all right. Mm, 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 mm. All right, let's see if we can. Okay. Let's get in my opinion, that's a much better paintbrush than what we had before. Let's see if we can. It's pretty good so far. I think we need to add like that. Okay. Let's see what we have here now. See how that compares. Alright, so now we need to get rid of this. We got a couple options here. Couple options. See? We got a couple options, see? Alright, so the easiest way, at least in my opinion, is to probably just lasso. It's probably easiest to. We're gonna pick the lasso tool and we're just gonna. And we'll get rid of that, and then we'll have to figure out a way to fill it after. Alright, let's see if we can. Okay. Alright. Alright, and what we'll do here is we're gonna do this a little bit dirty, but I think it's gonna be alright. Let's see if it's possible to find a perfect edge loop. Yeah, not exactly possible, okay. But we were able to. Oh, come on. Talk about a command that like sometimes doesn't work and it's so annoying. The L command that selects everything within that group or that island, you know? It's like supposed to work every time. Sometimes it doesn't, and it kind of drives me crazy. Alright, so let's go. Look at that. We found some vertices floating all the way down there. Okay. So let's see. Can we select everything somehow? right? Okay. We'll just fill that. We got some faces we can erase there. Let's cap this backside as well. And then what we'll do is we'll just remesh to kind of fix the fact that this is not going to be nicely balanced as far as geometry is concerned. Alright, so we got that. We kind of capped that as you can see there. And alright, let's what do we got here? Nice feet, huh? Real nice. Alright, so now let's take a look at this. We're at like 4 million polys. We're gonna keep it that way. So 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's remesh that. I wish I had saved before I started doing that. Uh, what up, Shane? What up, man? Alright, so we're almost done remeshing that, and then we'll have equal amount of geometry in there. 96%. Alright, successful. Unfortunately, it did kind of create this tasselization, weird hammered look, and I would like to know what is causing that. I would really, yeah, it seems like this is way denser because it is. Alright, for some reason, that came out way more. Oh, what do I want to do? Alright, so I just went back, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna turn on dynamic topology, and we'll remesh at the end. Right now, this is kind of creating more issues than I care to deal with at this point right now. I think we can just easily just use this tool to add a little bit more geometry in here and just kind of blend this out, right? I mean, we don't need to go much further than that for what we're trying to accomplish at the moment. Alright, so let's add some geometry there. Smooth that out, and then we'll stick our paintbrush back there. And then once we have the paintbrush in play, we can Improve some of the geometry in the hand. I actually want to turn off X symmetry because these two hands are not the same. Good thing it didn't look like it did anything yet. So we got that going. Alright. Yeah, so Rare Evo, I guess the going plan right now is I need to design the backdrop and the table fabric and order all that this weekend. And then during next week, I'm off for vacation. I need to focus on what I'm going to bring to Rare Evo and just work 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, I don't even know, 20 hours a day to make that happen. But we'll see. Hopefully it all works out. Alright, so let's see if we can bring our other components back. And alright, let's see if we can make this hand work. Right now it's got some issues here. We lost a lot of detail in the thumb and how that thumb should be coming down from here. Let's see if we can get rid of that dynamic topology that was slowing us down a little bit. We gotta make a slot for where this is supposed to come from. Working on the weekend. think of going up. The curb going up. Okay, so now let's see if we can kind of not separate the two entirely, but we do need some space here between what the finger is and what the thumb is. Yeah, we're getting there slowly. Slowly. We kind of need to like cut through these two. And once we accomplish that, then I think we'll be much further along in almost there. There we go. Oh my goodness, it's such a fucking pain in the ass, dude. It's like attracting the counter wall every time I fucking do something. This is not being this is not being very friendly. Alright, I just want to hide a couple things that keep getting in my way here. Just hide everything that's could potentially obstruct any of my views. Just get it out of the way. Alright, so we got a couple ways that we can fix this. However, I still wanted to work on getting rid of more material or at least pushing more material further back. You know, there should. Yeah, it's much better. Still gonna be a little bit of a pain to get this just right, and I just don't want it to look bad, you know. We can improve this quite a bit. Thing that stinks is the thumb was so close to the fingers because I had grouped all those pieces together in Nomad Sculpt when I started this, and now I'm just trying to fix the mental shortcuts that I made her just pieces that I kind of added together, and I think we remeshed so many times and smoothed out so many times that we ended up losing quite a bit of detail. But yeah, we will get it back. Man, this kind of fucking sucks, dude. I wonder if I should. I think part of the issue that we have here is how unnatural this hand looks. Um, and the fix for that is not. Well, let me take dynamic dynamic topology off. Uh, kick this. I think what I'm gonna do is there's this band that was here. I'm gonna get rid of it for now and really focus on fixing this arm because I feel like there's a little bit of an anatomy problem that's throwing off a lot of stuff here. And we're gonna make this look a little bit more natural. And then we'll, if we need this band back, we'll add it after. But for now, We're gonna get rid of it so we can look at the a good look at the anatomy of the arm. And yeah. What a big pain. Yeah, there's definitely some massive issues here that need to be addressed. Looks kind of totally, now that I get rid of that, you see some weird shape here that need to be fixed. See, it's kind of, alright, what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to come in here. Let's grab our brush tool again. Let's make a really small brush. And what I kind of want to do here is I kind of want to figure out, where are all of our, see, like that little knuckle's way far back. This one doesn't even have a knuckle. Let's figure out where our pivot points are, and let's start kind of flushing that out so that this can look a lot more realistic. Those are like the tips of the fingers, but the tips of the fingers should be like, something like here. Like that's clearly way too big, and this pinky's way too small. Alright, what we're gonna do here is I'm actually gonna take the mask tool and try to just isolate that thumb so we can work on it exclusively. And hopefully that'll work. We kind of need the ability just to articulate and manipulate the thumb. So let's mask this and unmask anything we accidentally painted on the thumb. And hopefully that'll allow us to just touch the thumb. Why is that? Okay, let's grab the... Okay. We just got a message. I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple streams ago, we worked on a 3D print job for somebody that placed an order on Etsy, and they received their part and they loved it and they left us a 5-star review. So that's awesome. Yeah, he's showing me a picture of how everything came out. Looks great. He's got all his little pieces set up. And yeah, it looks awesome. Awesome. Cool. He's another happy customer. So we're doing something good. You know, one little customer at a time. You know, we're not going to reach the finish line tomorrow, but hey, as long as the customer's happy, that means we're doing something right. Okay. Alright. We can adjust that a little bit. But that is starting to look better. Yeah, I try to make it better, but honestly, I think it kind of looks better like that. Um, yeah, if we didn't have that mask on right there, I'd move this all in, because right now his knuckles going up. I think it should be coming way down, but we're not going to clear that mask just yet because I want to keep working on this thumb. It's probably something that we'll go back to tomorrow. Touching up the thumb, hand, and then we will work on quite a bit of tweaking there needs to be done. We'll work on the other hand. So we got pretty good. We finished the shoes. Hold on, I meant to save. We finished the shoes. Uh, so we finished the shoes. We'll finish the hand tomorrow, and then we'll work on the other hand tomorrow, plus the cane that's missing. Um, and then we'll go back to the face, which means I think we may actually I don't want to jinx it, but we may actually be finishing this week, which is awesome. We can start 3D printing these while we're working on other stuff next week for a Rare Evo. I'm gonna save that again. Let's just check our socials, see if anybody dropped any comments. Just a hey dude from Shenanigans. There's a Twitter space that all the homies are at right now, which is fun. Alright, so we got an awesome comment. We got a nice stream in today, and you know what? I can't complain. Everything is going great. Guys, I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Again, remember to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. And let me know what you like, what you didn't like, what you'd like to see in the future. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys. Ciao.